Hey everyone, Flint Truth Channel. I'm going to talk about the all-seeing eye today, the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Ra, and I'm going to play a little video clips. I'm going to show a lot of pictures and stuff, so this might be a longer video, but it's going to be worth it, so stick with me.
No pops, because he had a vision. I respect a man with a vision. Yeah. Like, he names y'all all after Egyptian gods, which I respect. I got a ton of respect for that. But it's the same brand, because I've heard a lot of.
So you guys, he's going to pull out his
rumors
Eye of
about
Horus right here, as you guys can see right there. And he just said, oh, he respects Egyptian gods, and he's big into Egyptian gods. And of course, he would never be where he was if he wasn't an occultist.
Like, he names y'all all after Egyptian gods, which I respect. I got a ton of respect for that. But
and then he pulls out his chains to show you, and I'm gonna show you guys a picture here real quick of what those chains are. Give me 1 second. Alright, here it is. Here is a close-up of his necklaces. I took a screenshot of it, as you guys can see, and it looks like you guys can see the Eye of Horus, and he's got the RS, the Richard Sherman, with the lightning bolt in the middle. Lightning represents Satan, coming from Luke chapter 10, where it says, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, and it's Jesus speaking. So that's why these people are obsessed with it, it's not just the fact that that Satan is compared to lightning in that verse, but it's becoming from Jesus' mouth. That's why it's so important. Again, you got the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Ra, and we're going to get right into it right now. I'm going to show you guys what those are, what they explain, what they mean. But I wanted to kind of start out with that to show you that all these big time actors, like he was just saying in the video, his dad named him Saint Brown for a specific reason to, get the Egyptian god name. That's why his name is Amon Ra. Ra. So, anyways, the Ra, Eye of Horus, and Ra, Set. Like I said, they all go together. We're going to get into it right now. So, as you guys can see right there, the Eye of Ra is on the left. And the Eye of Horus is the one that goes to the right. And together you get the two seeing eyes, right? Just like a face. But those are the all-seeing eyes of Lucifer. Many of you guys are familiar with that. And again, we're going to get into all this, show you guys, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed king, or excuse me, the one-eyed man is king, and that's a quote from Tom Waits. So many pictures to go through here where you guys can see, everything, the in-depth of it, the Wajit, everything. The occult, there's occult aspects to all these so-called superstars or actors, like I like to call them, or sports players, or musicians, or any of the news anchors, any of the people you see on TV. They're all actors. This is from the website, as you guys see up top, and it's just on and on. You see up there with the Templar Church. You see it up there in Zionism. You see it in government. I apologize about some of the pictures you see right here. So let's start from the beginning, what they mean. The Eye of Horus is an ancient Egyptian symbol that represents healing, protection, and well-being. So they say. Obviously, if you're a born-again Christian like me, you know it's satanic, you know it's occultic, you know it's of the devil. Sadly, everywhere you go anymore, it seems like young men, women, they're wearing these symbols. And it's very disgusting. You drive around, you see them on the back of cars. Absolutely ridiculous. It says the Eye of Horus is based on the Egyptian myth about the god Horus, who lost his left eye in a fight with his uncle Seth, or Set, some people call him. The god Thoth restored Horus's eyes, which came to symbolize the process of healing and making whole. The eye was then called the Wajet, or Wajet, which means healthy or whole. The Eye of Horus has been used as a metaphor for many things, including the eye of the mind, the third eye, the eye of truth or insight, and the eye of God inside the human mind. The Eye of Horus is often worn as jewelry for protection and good health. It combines mythology, science, art, and anatomy. So, like I said, it's a satanic, occultic, pagan symbol. It's witchcraft. That's what this is. And that's why I'm exposing this. You know, if you got any family that's into this crap, shame on them. Again, this is Set with Isis, Horus, and Set right there with the IHS right there. The largest satanic church to spin off of the Church of Satan is undoubtedly the Temple of Set, formed by the Black Pope, number one disciple, Dr. Michael Aquino. Aquino not only claims to have faith in the fallen angels, but believes the Prince of Darkness spoke to him and gave him a further revelation from hell. This communication from the devil was eventually written down in Aquino's treatise, the book Coming Forth by Night, 1985. In this text, the Archfiend identified himself as Set, the ancient Egyptian name for Satan, and instructed Aquino to form a new organization called the Temple of Set, which members referred to as Setians, which was to act as a vehicle for the emergence of a new, bold, satanic age. So, I just showed you the video with Richard Sherman, Amon Ra, and those are two big time NFL names. Now, Richard Sherman doesn't play sports anymore, but he has a podcast and it's very popular and successful. Amon Ra also has a popular podcast that's very successful. He just recently signed, I think it was almost $200 million contract, maybe more, with the Detroit Lions. So, absolutely ridiculous. Moloch was the Canaanite version of the Egyptian god Set. The god Set was a was a homosexual god of evil. He was worshipped during the ceremonies that get down. Sorry, guys. He was worshipped during the ceremonies that involved human sacrifice, cannibalism, and homosexual orgies. As the god of destruction, he became the god of Egyptian military. In ancient Rome, he was worshipped as the god Saturn by the Roman military, often with baptism by blood. Thus, we see that Satan, Set, Saturn, Moloch, was worshipped by Solomon and his wives as he grew old and senile. This involved heterosexual sex orgies, Astaroth, homosexual sex orgies, Baal, Set, Satan, Moloch, human sacrifice, Moloch, and even cannibalism, Set, Moloch. Our modern high-level military leaderships appear to have the same values as the ancients. Set, the prototype of the Shaitan or Satan, the god of the south, whose star is Sothis. Set or Sut means black. The main kala or color of Set is black or red, interchangeable symbols in the mysteries, which denotes the underworld or infernal region of Amenta, the lord of hell. Set is the epitome of subconscious atavisms and of the true will or hidden sun. Kenneth Grant, Cults of Shadow. And you guys can see some hieroglyphics here, showing just how old, the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Ra, Set, all this, it's all Satanism. People can call it what they want. It's Satanism. It all goes back to Satanism. Satan, like the Bible tells us, Satan has fooled the eyes of all those that, lack the understanding and truth of the word of Jesus Christ. All these people that aren't saved, that aren't born again, they can't see it. They don't understand. They can't put it together. And the Bible says their hearts have been blinded. And again, like we've said before, the all-seeing eye, which you see all over, just absolutely all over. Again with the Wajet, as you guys see, the smell, the sight, the thought, the hearing, the taste, the touch. It all has meaning. Okay, and these occultists, they know this. I was trying to go past the picture right there, I think, but I wanted to read the all-seeing eye was representative of the omniscience of Horus, the sun god, magic symbols, by Frederick Goodman, page 103, Satanic Symbols book, called the Mal Acho, or Evil Eye. This object is regarded by all Satanists as the symbol of Lucifer. William Schnoblin, James R. Spencer, Witted Speculars, page 20. In Egyptian mythology, Horus is Lucifer, which I've proven this time and time again. Former Satanist William Schnoblin, Masonry Beyond the Light, page 197. The All-Seeing Eye, the President of of Secretary, and the Guru by Terry Melanson. The all-seeing eye is used to represent the planet Sirius. Sirius is important to the Hermetic magicians, and some of the programmers are deeply into Hermetic magic. Satan said to come from Draco or Sirius, especially the dog star Canis Major. Masonic programming may well have the blazing star portrayed in the programming as a pentagram with the name Sirius. Sirius may represent the master, the creator of the system, in some systems where the programmer is steeped in Masonic philosophy. Deeper Insights, page 4, the use of hypnosis. But the real punchline here is, as Glenn correctly pointed out to me, Longus, who pierced by the Longus, who pierced the side of Jesus with his spear of destiny. I always have a hard time saying his name, and I don't know why. Longinus. The spear of destiny had only one eye. The spear of destiny had only one eye. He was blind in the eye, but was healed by the Jesus' blood. And in the film Passion of the Christ, a controversial film about the final 12 hours of Christ, released soon after the Super Bowl fiasco, Jesus is, and you guys remember that, right? The Super Bowl fiasco, where it was 33 minutes and all of the timing, it was ridiculous. Released soon after the Super Bowl fiasco, Jesus is mostly, you guessed it, one-eyed. Needless to say, this relates to the Eye of Horus, or the all-seeing eye of the pyramid capstone that you see on the back of the U.S. dollar bill. So I'm trying to be quick about this because I'm on my break, guys, so I apologize if I'm reading it fast. It symbolizes the Osiris, resurrection, seed, sex, Mars, the New World Order, etc., etc., etc. All very relevant. Birth of Horus, birth of Antichrist. That would probably be the strongest concept conveyed by all this. The Lucifer Code, Part 2 by Goro Adachi. The Eye of Horus comes from one of many religions which came from the Babylon, and all this stuff dates back to the Babylonian. It all does. But anyways, many of the religions which came from the Babylonian because of Nimrod, aka Baal Osiris, represented by the pagan owl Moloch, and the whore of Babylon, aka Isis, the whore, even the Lady Liberty, which is not a lady at all, as we all know. The Eye of Horus, according to the Egyptian legend, was Osiris, was murdered by Set, and Set was killed by Horus, who lost an eye in the process. Hence, the Eye of Horus. The 33rd degree Freemason and Black nobility President Franklin Delano Roosevelt had this symbol printed on the dollar bill from 1933. It was a symbol of secret societies in Europe long before anyone heard of the United States, and it's awash with Freemasonic and secret society symbolism going back to the ancient world, and that comes from David Icke. The all-seeing eye originated in Egypt in those satanic mysteries which God physically judged during the time of Moses when he led the Israelites out of the land by the mighty hand of God. The all-seeing eye was representative of the omniscience of Horus, the sun god. Magic Symbols by Frederick Goodman, page 103, Satanic Symbols book. As one Masonic book says, these considerations lead us to an interesting topic: the eye of mind, or the eye of Horus, and conveying the idea of the all-seeing eye. The end set before the Egyptian neophyte was illumination. That is to be brought to light. The religion of Egyptian was the religion of light. Thomas Milton Stewart, The Symbolism of the Gods of the Egyptians and the Light They Know Through Freemasonry. London, England, Bakersville Press, Ltd., 1927, page 5. Anyone who knows their scripture and thinks of themselves as Christian should feel right now like they have been slapped alongside their head with a 2x4. With a 2x4. The Masonic author just has told you that the light to which Masonry constantly refers to and towards which they are constantly to move, is the religion of Horus, which we all know this. They all tell us, and mainly P. Hall, Albert Pike, they all tell us that Satan is the light bearer, and that they all worship Satan as Masons, and only the true 31 to 32 to 30th, 31, and 32 and 33 degree Freemasons truly know that Masons serve Satan. All the rest are dumbed down, they're told different, and they're even told, they make up double stories about what the symbolism means. Remember, with the occult and with witchcraft and with all these things, duality is very, very important. So, anyways, just hit along the head with the 2x4. The Masonic author has just told you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where we left off. Sorry. This is damning because in Egyptian mythology, Horus is Lucifer. Former Satanist William Schnoblin, Masonry Behind the Light, page 197. The pyramid and the Eye of Horus on the back of the dollar bill are Illuminati symbology. Illuminati symbology. The pyramid is an ancient form based on the holiness of the number 3 to the ancient mystery religions. And you guys remember that old school of rock, where they made it talking about how the number 3 was so holy to ancient mystery religion. Sorry, I'm dating myself here. I'm 40 years old, but it, not 6, is considered the most spiritual number, and a pyramid was a structure used specifically to call the demonic or occult a point of psychic activity. The eye is the all-seeing eye of Horus. Remember the emphasis on the Egyptian magical religious practices, the book of the undead, etc., and the fact that no one can escape his magical reach. This eye is considered a demonic eye in the group, or the eye of the deity, and in the Illuminati mythology is either open or closed, depending on the spiritual time of the year and the state of the person physically. Young children are given psychic surgery where the eye is placed inside, and they are told that Horus will snatch their soul if they ever try to leave, or if they tell, or that the eye will explode. The symbol on the dollar is reinforcement for every Illuminati child who sees one. And I don't know about this right here, but I mean they're throwing it in here. So the saying on the dollar bill, Norvis Ordo Seclorum, also mean bringing in the new order, which is true, which is the Illuminati's stated agenda. Just think in the early 1800s. I just hate when they use the word Illuminati because I just think that's like a code word for, I mean, obviously they are all luminous, but, and occultists, but I don't know, just the Illuminati is kind of like the way the public thinks about it is kind of, I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that. Which is Illuminati state agenda. Just think in the early 1800s, our forefathers already were looking forward to when the new order would be ushered in. Have I mentioned that this is a patient, forward-looking group of intellectuals? That Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, FDR, and the others were Illuminati leaders? Our country may not have been founded. Pardon me. Our country may have been founded on freedom from taxation, but it is also founded on the New World Order just as surely. In addition, here is a quote from John Todd, who belongs to the Masonic Council of 13, in the magazine Progress for All, January 1991, an interview regarding the clarification of the pyramid and the shining eye on the back of the U.S. dollar bill. See picture above. The seal of the pyramid was created by the Rothschild family and brought to North America by Benjamin Franklin and Alexander Hamilton before 1776. The Rothschild family is the head of the organization in which I entered in Colorado. All the occult brotherhoods are part of it. It is a Lucifer organization to install his reign in the whole world. The eye is on the pyramid is the eye of Lucifer. Supposedly the Rothschilds have personal dealings with the devil. I have personally been in his villa and have experienced it, and I know it is true, says John Todd. R. Bell noticed the hidden messages, AL and RT Bell. Can you decipher them? Notice that this capstone is in place. Did you notice Bell is placed above the capstone by the flying arrow? Do you know what that means? Did you spot the all-seeing eye? Here is a clue. AL is abbreviation for the Latin which translate years of light, referring to the year 6000 when the Illuminati believe Prometheus, Lucifer, Baal, Bel, Satan, and the angel of light who was cast out of heaven will triumph over God and mount the throne in the north. A metaphor for the north. Sorry, my dog is jumping all over me, guys. She's a little excited. A metaphor for the triumph of socialism over religion, nation, states, and the common herd. AI can be found by adding 4,000 to the current year, 1998, plus 4,000 equals 5998. All who say they are light workers are engaged in the battle against God on Lucifer's behalf. And that was said by Cooper. I imagine that's probably William Cooper. Anyways, as you guys can see, the third eye, the Knights Templar. You guys can see it right here in Masonry. So, it's absolutely everywhere. Gonna try to scroll through these quick, so if you guys want to pause your screen and look at them, you can. But there's a lot to get through, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. And I've actually made a video with all this symbolism in it, probably called All-Seeing Eye Exposed or something like that, so go look at it. Yeah, right there, the RX symbol used by pharmacies and in medicine, the Gardasil. As you can see, the all-seeing eye is absolutely everywhere, okay? And you heard in the beginning how those actors are not only changed their names to make sure that they aligned with it, and all the esotericism and occult, satanic witchcraft that's going into these people. There's a reason why they're successful in this world, because they sell out for fortune and fame. It's not a coincidence. None of this is a coincidence. This one right here says Elizabeth Jane Buchtan, the Star of David, has been converted to hearts here. Winded, not the Star of David, by the way, which has been exposed time and time again. The hexagram is not the Star of David. Nowhere in the Bible did God command David to make a representation of the star. So yeah, that's ungodly. It's occultic, and I've exposed the hexagram several times. When the deer had their CD, he told me the hearts were due to an experience he claimed we had during. Well, I'm not reading that. That the other experiences inspired the Hallelujah song. No, in the center of hearts is the Illuminati all-seeing eye. He corrupted it as well. He corrupted it as that could be of good. Okay, I'm not reading that. So a lot of this is inappropriate, and as you guys know, we don't do inappropriate around here. Yeah, you guys can see that. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on that right there. And then this is some little bit with Horus. Horus, the all-seeing eye, was representative of the ominous of Horus, the sun god. Magic Symbols by Frederick Goodman, page 103, Satanic Symbol Book. In Egyptian mythology, Horus is Lucifer, which we know. The pyramid and the Eye of Horus in the back. Yeah, I think I read that to you guys already. The pyramid and the Eye of Horus on the back of the dollar bill of the Illuminati symbology. The eye of the all-seeing Eye of Horus, and the fact that no one can escape his magical reach. This eye is considered a demonic eye in the group, or the eye of the deity, and in the Illuminati mythology is either open or closed. Yeah, we already read that. So I thought this had a little bit more on here. I guess show you a few pictures. In the Oklahoma Masonic Lodge, this figure is supposedly reminding visitors to be quiet in the lodge. However, finger over the mouth is the symbol of Horus. Absolutely, and it's an occultic Masonic symbol. Again, you see it there. Silence, a depiction of Horus, shown with his finger over his mouth. So, and how many times have you seen the actors with the fingers over their mouth, right? Doing the one finger symbolism, the be quiet, the shh. How many? Was it Rihanna and a bunch of the other these artists? They got the shh tattooed on their finger. Absolutely crazy. And you can see right there the harp or karat, the Egyptian god form, nursing child, the beetle, the Shen ropes, the 11 winged disc, the pi, excuse me, the Feigen cap. I always say that wrong. Furigan, the Furigan cap, Oborus, Ouroboros, Ouroboros. Horus was a god of the sky. He is probably most well known as the protector of the ruler of Egypt. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was the living Horus. The ancient Egyptians had many different beliefs about the god Horus. One of the most common beliefs was that Horus was the son of Isis and Osiris. After Osiris was murdered by his brother Seth, Osiris fought with Seth for the throne of Egypt. In the battle, Horus lost one of his eye. The eye was restored to him, and it became a symbol of protection for the ancient Egyptians. Yeah, he lost, cut him up in pieces, and the eye was restored to him, and it became a symbol of protection for the ancient Egyptians. After this battle, Horus was chosen to be the ruler of the world of living. One of the best preserved temples in Egypt today was dedicated to Horus. It's located in the Upper Egypt at a town called Edfu. Yeah, and I believe the story of Set or was murdered by or Osiris. Excuse me, the story of Osiris, that he was murdered and chopped up into like 14 pieces, and they like only could find 13 pieces, and the one missing piece was his eye. So there's all kinds of different stories about that. I believe I said that correctly. I'm not sure, and if I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments. I do apologize about that. One of the oldest and mostly widely worshipped deities in the Egyptian pantheon was Horus. He was worshipped as the god of the sky and was usually depicted as a falcon or a falcon-headed fella. And a lot of times you guys see this with the falcon or the phoenix. A lot of people even think the eagle, but that's what that is right there. It is a falcon, falcon-headed fella. He was the son of Isis and Osiris and was born toward the end of the couple's grand story. Horus was also said to be the god of war and hunting. Horus was told by his mother, Isis, to protect the people of Egypt from Seth, the god of the desert, darkness and chaos, the all-around bad guy, and to seek vengeance for Seth's murder of Osiris, Horus' father. Many of Horus' exploits involve his many battles and contests with Seth. Besides the whole vengeance angle, it was decided that the eventual winner would be the ruler of Egypt. Seth was worshipped in the Upper Egypt and Horus was in the Lower Egypt. I'll spare you the details and give you a spoiler. Horus eventually wins in a boat race, and gains the rule of Egypt, rule of all of Egypt, while Set goes back just to ruling the desert. Horus' eyes were said to be the sun and the moon, what with him being the sky god and all. In a battle with Seth, Seth's left eye was gouged out, and this was meant to explain why the moon, which the eye represented, was weaker than the sun. In the same particularly though fight, Seth lost a testicle. That's dirty fighting, Horus. The loss of the desert gods. So I didn't realize I was reading that as I read it. I apologize. Explained the infertility of, and I guess there's nothing really wrong with that. But it's just not something that I do here. So there you have it. The reason you can't grow your corn in Sahara is because a god ripped the sack off another god. The more you know. And as you guys can see, it's all occultic. It's all satanic, and I've been telling people this. It all comes back down to Satan worship. People try to make it about other things. Oh, it's not about Satan. It's just mythology and different cultures and people have different things. No, or you can call it that, but it's all Satanism. It all comes back down to Satanism. Okay, Satan, the god of this world, for the time being until the Lord comes back and takes his proper place on the throne, has blinded the hearts. All the hearts. And the Bible tells us this. This is why the people, they can't see. because they lack discernment. You know, and we're not even talking about the people with the reprobate minds and the reprobates and everything else. We're not even talking about that. Anyways, hopefully this was knowledgeable for you. Hopefully you got something out of it. It says Ra was the sun god. He was the most important god of the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians believed that Ra was swallowed every night by the sky goddess Nut and was reborn every morning. The ancient Egyptians also believed that he traveled through the underworld at night, and in the underworld, Ra appeared as a man with the head of a ram. So, there you guys go. I think that's the rest of it. I think there was another aspect I wanted to touch on too. As you guys seen in his picture, he had a lightning bolt in between his name, Richard Sherman. Like I said, that came from Luke chapter 10, where Jesus says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." And let me show you again. There's a Satanist pendant right there. This is one that I found. As you guys can see, the guy wearing the Satanic pentagram with the all-seeing eye right there in it. So just wanted to show you guys that. And the Eye of Ra, a powerful symbol of ancient Egypt with a profound meaning. The Eye of Ra. When we talk about myths and ancient symbols, we have to be very careful about how we read blah 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 blah. Anyways, you guys can see the origin of the Eye of Ra is represented. The eye of Ra, the eye is represented in the ambulance, capable of repelling all negative energy and restoring harmony. That's why the pharaohs used them to defend themselves against an element or enemy that tried to destabilize their government. One must be careful when invoking its energy because it can get out of control and become very violent. The amulets were painted with a dark red color and also work to protect against evil entities or spells and attract good health. Ridiculous. Absolutely not. Satanic as heck. And you know, if you wear that and put that on you, you're wearing a cursed charm. So, it was said that the Egyptians sun god Ra sailed his boat across the sky during the day and transported it back to the underworld at night. There is a myth that the human Ra was old and very weak, and because he was vulnerable, his people began to ignore his laws and instructions. He sent his daughter, the lion's Eye of Ra, to punish his people. The eye became angry and destroyed humanity. The gods feared that the eye would kill all humans. Ra used red beer to get his eyes drunk and passed out. Then the eye was calm again and returned to Ra. Another myth says that he has Ra's eye to obtain information. Sometimes that purpose is used along with the previous one, and he administers his form of justice with the information collected by his eye. A more benign purpose for the eye can be seen when Ra acts as a loving father and sends his eye to search for his two lost children. Another representation of the eye is that the symbol of a cobra wrapped around a solar disk, although there is a problem with this symbol, and that is that it is used to represent another goddess. She also has a relationship with the eye as her symbol. The Eye of Ra power is represented in ambulance, capable of repelling all negative energy and restoring harmony. That's why the pharaohs used them to defend themselves against any element or enemy that tried to destabilize their government. One must be careful when invoking its energy because it can get out of control and become very violent. The amulets were painted red. We just read that. How the eye became about. Anyways, we don't need to know about all this. You guys can put two and two together that it's satanic, it's occultic. I think I've exposed that by now. Difference between the Eye of Horus and Ra. The Eye of Ra is often confused with the Eye of Horus. Eye of Horus meaning, however, the two are quite distinct. The Eye of Ra represents the right eye, while the Eye of Horus represents the left eye, which is what I told you guys. It's the two eyes that make the one. Ra is the sun god. His power is quite close to the almighty God of the monotheistic religions. In this sense, his power of vision is thus unlimited. His eye is called the eye that sees everything. The all-seeing eye of Lucifer. Right there, guys. This is not the case with Horus, whose powers are limited and whose protection is mostly linked to physical integrity, a protective symbol. The difference is that the Eye of Ra is drawn as the right eye, while the Eye of Horus is drawn as the left eye. So see, the Eye of Horus is a strong protective symbol used for thousands of years by the Egyptians. It is associated with vision, especially the power of vision between the afterlife and the world of the living, the protection of the physical integrity and health. Worn as an amulet around the neck, it protects its wearer. It should be noted that the Eye of Horus symbol corresponds to the location of the third eye, represented by the sixth chakra. The sixth chakra represents the seat of intuition and the clairvoyance, including the ability to see things usually hidden. 1,000-year-old talisman used since antiquity, the Eye of Horus has been able to cross the centuries to come and protect us. Wear it as a jewel to benefit from the health protection. Displayed in a house, it will protect its integrity. Don't forget that the Eye of Horus is symbolized by a left eye. The right eye is the Eye of Ra. It is a powerful symbol of protection. So there you go. Horus is the left. Ra is the right. Ra is the right. So that should be pretty easy to remember. R for Ra and right, and left for Horus. So anyways, I'm just going to leave this with you guys there. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Don't be fooled by these people, these stars, these athletes. Okay, they all sell out. They all serve Satan. And hopefully this was, beneficial and useful to you. And hopefully you can share it with somebody that you think can get something out of it. So hopefully you're staying in the Word. Hopefully you're staying in the Bible, creating that connection with Jesus Christ. Discernment comes when you read the Bible, when you create that connection with Jesus Christ. It's very important for all Christians. And don't ever let anybody tell you different. We all should be reading the Bible and creating our own connection with Jesus Christ. And until the next video, God bless you guys. And I just want to say thanks again.